Claudia Widdis earned her MFA in sculpture from Southern Illinois University. She has exhibited extensively and has completed commissions for private and public collections. She is the recipient of a Sculpture Award from the Arts Festival of Atlanta and a Shalom Prize Foundation grant.
My first recollections of being a visual artist, wanting to be one, was seeing my sister work. And my sister was a painter, and she also liked fashion. And I used to love to look in her sketchbooks and wonder how to make lines and colors do the things that she would make them do. My work is informed by many things, other cultures, Mesoamerican art, African art, Haitian art, Native American art from various places, and different periods of time in those cultures. I work from an emotional level, and I somehow feel like the process, the artistic process, is my only real time in terms of reality time. And if I'm not working, I lose track of time. It sort of centers me. After the September 11th tragedy, I sort of stopped working for a while and started to wonder about what would happen if I was about to work on my last piece. I think it had a way of making you realize that you're taking every day for granted. You could just walk outside and that it would be over. So I had to slow down and think about what would my last piece be, what would it be about, and I started thinking about ways in which we are connected and how my art could connect people more. I've worked with clay, plaster, wood, all of the traditional sculpture materials, but I have a fascination with taking a very hard piece of steel, putting a torch to it and make it soft, make it yield. And I love the elegance of metal and how you can go from thick to thin, work in space, and I love the textures I can create with it, and the metal just works for me. Sometimes I can incorporate texture by using metal that's had another life, that's maybe been outside and is pitted from the environment, or maybe it had texture from another application it was in, or I can just hammer it while it's hot and make marks in it. I can industrially stamp it into a desired pattern. A lot of people have the misconception that metal work is hard, it's dangerous, you can get injured, but everything is in your education of how to use the materials and methods to arrive at a form that you want to arrive at. And technology has helped us greatly in recent years, all kinds of cutting implements that can be used to work with metal. But basically, the age-old tradition of just getting a sheet of metal, heating it to red hot, you can do anything. It becomes like clay. And I love metal for that ability to be almost chameleon-like in the fact that you can transform it. A piece I finished about half a year ago, Awakening, the process began with making rough sketches, and then I make a small model out of just paper, and it could be just 5 inches in scale. And that gives me a kind of lead on what direction in terms of fabrication, because metalwork does take a lot of planning. From there, I blow it up on the wall so that I have a scale reference, and then I start to make my patterns based on a proportional scale that I've drawn. That particular piece took about 2 years to create, in between other things in one's life, such as teaching. But I enjoyed exploring possibilities in that piece, and it's different because I believe I arrived at a softness in the steel that was a little bit different from my other works. Shadow is a very important element in my work. I started a series called The Healing Curtains, and which began by just trying to put a spiritual symbol on a window that had a reference in my childhood in Harlem that had police gates on every window. And I hated those police gates. So in making an attempt to put metal on the wall and the window, what happened is that I started working with shadows. And now in my three-dimensional work, I'm working with shadows. When I started the Healing Curtain series, I was working with pattern from inspiration from African textiles a lot, and also just patterns that I would find from many cultures and all kinds of fabric I was looking at. But recent years, I'm looking at patterns that I invent through a variety of sources in my process to see what is going to work the best with the form. Rhythm plays a big part in my work. Rhythm has an energy, and a lot of my works have been titled dance, had the word dance in it, and I like movement, and I like the pieces that move in space and how they cut the air, so to speak.